lights and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Rochelle. That was beautiful. And now to lead us in invocation and introductions is Bill Pascal. I know he's here.
Yeah, I forgot today was my day.
It's your day.
Thank you, Madam President. Let's bow, shall we? Dear Father in heaven, first, we want to thank you for the rain and the cooler temperatures. It is such a blessing, Father, for so many people all across East Texas and other parts of the state. And we just thank you for this wonderful rain that nourishes the good earth. We thank you for this club. May our club here in Tyler, our district, our zone, Rotary International, may we accomplish our mission. We thank you for the food that you provided. Please bless it to the nourishment of our body so that we can be strengthened better to your will. And above all, we thank you for the spiritual blessings that we have through your Son, Jesus Christ. And it's in his name that we pray. Amen. Amen. Again, folks, welcome. Please be seated. It's good to see everybody here. How'd you get here today? Backstroke or what? Let's go around the room. We're going to start with this table right over here. Any visiting Rotarians? Okay, all right. What about right here? Robert, got any visiting Rotarians? I know we've got Jeff Johnson here, South Tyler Rotary.
Thank you, brother.
Incoming district governor.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you, my buddy. Yes, sir. What about this table back here? Are you a Rotarian? Crested Butte, Colorado? Okay. Good to have you, sir. Yes, sir. This table right here, any visiting Rotarians? And right here at the back table, Richard, any visiting Rotarians? Okay. Any guests at this table? That table right there? Wait a minute, let me get around over there. Well, we'll come back to it, okay? All right. Kim, is it still all good? It's all good. Any guests here? Okay, we'll introduce these ladies in a minute. Okay, now what you got, Deidre? Okay, Jack. David and Leanne Hobbs. Where are you guys from?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. All right. Glad to have you guys again. Any guests here?
I have my dear friend Crystal Griffith.
Oh, Crystal.
State Farm. Fairman, not Griffith. Anyway, she's amazing. She reached out to me on Facebook and wants to get engaged and become a Rotarian. I said, you want to do a couple of
Hey, high five right there. Yeah. And anybody right here? Mrs. Pascal, any visitors here at this table? Okay. Home folks is good. All right, Trudy, coming back your way. And again, it's good to see everybody.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Okay, visitors and guests, we're so happy to have you here. And if you're visiting, now I know you're a visiting Rotarian from Crested Butte, so you probably live closer that way. But if not, you're certainly welcome to come here. And certainly if you're visiting and are not, do not have a Rotary home, we would love for you to make us your Rotary home. Okay, Rotary birthdays and anniversaries. I forgot a very important thing at the very beginning of the meeting. Who can tell me what it was?
Selfies.
Selfies, okay. Get your Take out your phone that you have now placed on silent. Get with your group at your table. Please take a selfie of yourself, your guest, your best friend, and post it to social media. You can check into Holly Tree Country Club. You can also check into the Rotary Club of Tyler. Let your friends know that you are a part of the coolest lunch brunch in town, okay? They want to know what you're doing. This is a great way to invite people out. Okay, birthdays. We have some birthdays for September. Kim Lewis's birthday is September 3rd. Linda Broom's birthday is September 13th. Paul Gleiser is September 15th. Juan Mejia is September the 20th. Okay, this is tiny. Sorry. Leland is September 25th. Chris Kirk, September 25th. Fran Hall, September 28th. And remember, she has made the announcement that she is going to be at our meeting next week, and that's part of her birthday present. And Colby McElwee, September 28th. And now, would you please join me in singing happy birthday to these Rotarians? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. That was beautiful. Happy birthday. And we also have some Rotary anniversaries. Cheryl Way has been a Rotarian for 16 years on September 13th. Jay Holsenbach, 15 years, September the 11th. Richard Perryman, 11 years, September the 6th. Merwin Pickle, 9 years, September the 11th. Allison Cambry, our immediate past president, has been a Rotarian for 9 years, celebrating September 11th. Denning Kay, 9 years, September 11th. Susan Stewart, 3 years, September 20th. Andrea Horton, 3 years, September 28th. Annie Dwyer, 2 years on September 30th. And Dr. V, thank you so much for putting his entire name down here as though I could say it, but our Dr. V is celebrating a 1-year anniversary on September 12th. We are so happy to have them all. Okay. Paul Gleiser is out this week, but don't worry, we have a very important update for you about what some of us Rotarians did last night. It was a super, super exciting event that we did at TJC. So I'm going to welcome Chris and Christy Hill. They're going to clue you in as to what we did last night, and they also have a couple of announcements.
So if you weren't there last night, you missed some excellent Little Caesars pizza. Last night was the inaugural kickoff to our new friendship program we're developing between TJC and this Rotary Club, and it went really well. It's kind of one of those deals where you have no idea what to expect because a bunch of people were invited. 180 international students were invited, but there was no one that had RSVP. So we didn't know if we'd have 0 or 180. So how much pizza do you buy for that? But we ended up having about 16 international students show up, which was great. We appreciate the Rotarians that came last night and visited with the kids. There were students from South Korea, Kenya, Nigeria, the Bahamas, Japan, all over. It was really fun. So be looking forward to emails that are going to be coming up about how you get involved. What we want as Rotarians to just sign up to be in a relationship with these kids, bring them to a meeting, take them to dinner, show them why you love Tyler and why they should enjoy being here, and get to know them a little bit about their background. So be looking forward to that, but it was great last night.
And because Chris and I are involved in multiple things, we have 2 announcements unrelated to that. The first one is this club last year sponsored PHA in an amazing way and donated $10,000 to our work in Ukraine. So it's definitely something we want to say thank you for, but it's also something we'd love to give you an update about and what's been happening with that since then. on September 24th, and there's some flyers on your table, and there's also a sign-up sheet up front. We're having a barbecue luncheon. It's right after church at Marvin Methodist. We'd love for you to come. There's no cost to attend. We would just like for you to be able to tell you thank you and to see what's going on with us. Then also, Chris and I are part of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. And that means by default, we are also a part of National Philanthropy Day. That is coming up on Monday, November 13th. And the reason we wanted to talk to you about that today is there's several people being honored this year, but the outstanding philanthropic foundation this year is the Hibbs Family Foundation. And of course, you know, Billy Hibbs Jr. is one of our fellow Rotarians. We'll be sending out more information to Trudy so she can pass it along through the appropriate channels. But if you're interested in maybe sponsoring a table or getting together as a club to sponsor a table in honor of that family, we'd love to have that happen.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. And I was one of the Rotarians that was there last night. If you were there last night, would you raise your hand real quick? I know several of us, yes. It was really, we had no idea what to expect, but we got to meet a lot of these international students. And I really, really hope that you will consider being a sponsor for one of them. And it's not a huge commitment. These guys are stuck on that campus. A lot of them don't have a way to get off campus. They don't have a car, so they live in the dorms. And it would be great just to bring them to a meeting. We briefly discussed rounding them up and bringing them to our hobbies social. You know, just driving as many of them that want to come out there. They are studying so many different things that range from nursing to kinesiology, lots of computer science. There was a lovely girl there from Brazil that wants to be a speech pathologist. There could be an opportunity to link up with one of those students, especially if you are already working in that capacity, and just form a relationship with them and show them Tyler. Take them out for something really quick and let them have a way to get off campus and enjoy. So it was a really cool event. We didn't even really have that much pizza left over. Okay, Rotary business tomorrow is our monthly board meeting. It will be at the Federal Union, where we invite all Rotary members to come out. We usually start eating at 11:30. It is a bring your own lunch kind of thing, and then the meeting will start promptly at noon. So please come out to that if you would like to be a part of that, if you're interested in becoming a member of the board and you'd like to hear some of the things that we have to discuss. 5 o'clock somewhere will be Tuesday, September 26th at Hobby's Treehouse. Be there, be square. New member orientation is going to be held before those meetings, and that starts at 4. If you are a new member, if you're okay, now I gotta yell. Okay, you can anyway. If you are a new member or just haven't been here very long, maybe 1 to 3 years, and you've got some questions about Rotary, you want to know a little bit more about it, being at Hobbies at 4 o'clock is a great way to learn. Okay, and it's also, you can get the party started. You're the first people there. So hope to see everybody out there Tuesday, September 26th at Hobbies. We need your August volunteer hours, please. Make sure you email those. I know you've heard this song and dance before. Church hours, school hours, you walked your neighbor's dog, you fed your neighbor's cat, whatever. Email those hours to Holly. Grocery sacks, make sure. I think we're gonna have to have new batteries. Make sure that you bring your grocery sacks every time you come or whenever you gather up enough of them. We're doing that ongoing for the East Texas Food Bank. There is a cardboard box out front where we can just throw them all in. We take them to the food bank. Okay, Keep Tyler Beautiful Rose Garden Cleanup Service Opportunity is going to be on October the 7th from 9 a.m. to noon, okay? So that's a great service opportunity for us all to get together as Rotarians, kind of do something together side by side. It's also a great way to get new members engaged. So bring a friend. That's a service opportunity that's coming up. There will be some emails and some reminders that are going to be going out about that. Save the day.
We got a District 5830 conference in Athens, Texas at the Freshwater Fish Hatchery coming up October 14th. If you've never been to a district meeting or any of the district things before, I strongly encourage you to do that, especially if you are interested in being on the board or being in a leadership role. There are so many things that we talk about at those meetings, and you get to meet other clubs, other leadership members, and just other members of the club that can tell you
a lot about how things go on, and it's also a great way to learn. I know, I really don't need this, do I? I do. All right, East Texas Philanthropy Day is November the 13th, 2023. Chris and Christy Hill just told you a little about that. The Hibbs Family Foundation is going to be honored at that luncheon at the W.T. Brookshire's Center. So if you want to sponsor a table, I will have more information about that, about different tables, or just if you want to go. I think that since Billy Hibbs Jr. is a fellow Rotarian in this club, it will be a wonderful way for us to show our support by having several of us come out and show him that we support him, especially since his family foundation is being honored. The program for September 21st is going to be Brian White, and that's going to be Cal's Pals. And then now I'd like to welcome my wonderful President-elect, Colby McElwee, to the podium. He is going to introduce today's speaker, Toni Goodin with Holy Angels out of Shreveport.
Perfect. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm here to introduce Toni Goodin. She is the Director of Outreach Development for Holy Angels Residential Facility in Shreveport, Louisiana. She holds a master's degree of Health Administration, a master's degree of Science Human Service Administration, and a bachelor's degree of Science in Accounting from Louisiana State University, Shreveport. She has been a member of the Riverbend Rotary Club since 2003, where she was president in 2012 to 2013. She's also been the secretary from 2004 to 2011 and 2013 to present. She also serves on the board of directors for Arclitect Sports Museum since 2008, and she was the official Independence Bowl mascot from 1986 to 2001.
Awesome.
Yeah. Please join me in welcoming Toni Goodin.
Thank you so much. So a little bit more, and me and Colby was talking about this. He was like, what about the mascot? Yes, my mother drove me to the game in 1986. I grew up in a small town about an hour south of Shreveport. She didn't want to leave me at home because I was 14, so she took me to the Independence Bowl that night, sitting up in the stands watching football, and she's like, you need to come with me. We have an emergency. And so from that night on, I was the mascot for the Independence Bowl, all through high school, all through college. And when I moved back to Shreveport, I started working, I joined the Sports Foundation of the Independence Bowl. And in 2009, I was the Independence Bowl chairman. And so I worked my way up. I'm real involved in Shreveport, real involved in the sports community with the National Football Foundation, very involved in Rotary. So I have some great ideas from your club that I've learned since I've been here today that I'm going to take back to my club. Y'all have an awesome club. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
So excited. And I was talking about old school and about presentations and how like Twitter and all of this new social media stuff, we're still old school in our club. We have a lot of older individuals, bringing new people in. We have about 28 in our club in Shreveport. We've got, I think, to 48 at one time. So it kind of goes back and forth. I'm sure y'all are used to that too. But I'm so excited about being here. I've been in healthcare my whole entire career. I stepped away from corporate America in September and said, God, take the wheel and put me where you want me to be. Had no idea where I was going to be. I walked away from a CEO position and said, put me where I need to be. About 9 months later, I met Lori Boswell, who is our CEO at Holy Angels. How many of you know anything about Holy Angels? A little bit? Okay. I was the same way. I had visited Holy Angels when the guys come in from the Independence Bowl, we always took the kids out there to see the residents. But we were bussed in, the residents were brought to the gym, and we just had a play date with them. We played basketball, we played just different games. And it was a way for us to show the guys that came to the Independence Bowl what we had to offer in Shreveport and give the residents a chance to meet some football players and have a little bit of good time. Well, that's all I had ever seen until, I guess, May of this year when I went out for a tour. And oh my gosh, my eyes were opened. I tell everyone it's like going to Disney World because I thought Holy Angels was just a residential facility for those that have disabilities. Somewhere for them to go and have a life where, they normally wouldn't have that life. Oh my gosh, these kids or residents probably have more of a social life than you and I both do. Because, don't you laugh? So we started in 1965. Bishop Greco was in Rome studying, and he had this vision. And this vision told him he needed to come back to Louisiana and start a home, a residential facility for those with disabilities. You know as well as I do, some of us don't listen to those visions when we have them. Thank God he did. So he returned to Louisiana and met with the sisters in New Orleans. They put together a plan and came to Shreveport to visit. We had some individual families that had a few kids with disabilities. They met with 3 families in Shreveport, and those families donated 64 acres for us to start Holy Angels. Fast forward to 1968, they brought the first 15 to 18 kids up to Holy Angels, and we opened our doors of Holy Angels. So our motto at Holy Angels was birth to death. We have individuals that are still with us from that group. So unless some crazy thing happens, they never leave Holy Angels. And it's a place where we were opened with the Catholic Church, and we're based on the Catholic Church faith. As we went along, in about 2006, Sister Chichetta decided she wanted to retire. And we had to look at seeing how we were going to shift our focus because the nuns were kind of phasing out. And so we put together a plan and we became a nonprofit on our own. We still do have support from the Catholic Church. We have a chapel on our campus, and we still do have Mass. However, the residents aren't made to go to Mass, but do they? They do, because they know how special that is to our organization. So fast forward, so when an individual comes to us, and Holy Angels sometimes is not a fit for everyone. So we'll have the families come and visit, and we do have day programs. So it's not an automatic, you come and you get in. We have about 188 residents right now on campus. So we have some of our residents that are very highly functioning. We have a hall called Madonna Hall that are total care patients. That we have nurses, we have CNAs that care for them 24 hours a day. We have activities for them because they're not very mobile and can't go to the other activities that we have. But we also have 13 group homes. So 7 of them are on campus and 6 of them are off campus in like a mile radius. So when a house comes up for sale, we've started buying some of the houses. So each house can house up to 8 individuals. And we pair those individuals with like similarities. So they may start in one home, but end up in another home. And those individuals, so everyone's staying together, but every day we bus all of those people that are off campus to on campus. And we bring them to what's called Angel Works. And this is what I had no idea that we did. So again, I'm thinking, which I think most people think of a residential facility for disabled individuals, they're just sitting around watching soap operas or just twiddling their thumbs, but they're not. Again, I mentioned a while ago, that they have more of an active life than we do. They do. So they're brought on campus, and everyone has a set time, set agenda of what they do each day. So they come to Angel Works, which I tell everybody, it's Disney World. So they pick what they want to do. Whether that be sewing, which I need to go to that class because I can't sew. They go to a needlepoint class. We have a pottery class. We have jewelry making class. And then some of our residents learn how to cook. So this is one of the services that we provide our community. So our residents learn how to cook lasagna from a special recipe from one of the sisters, that very few people have that recipe. They cook cookies, and then most recently, one of our board members bought an ice cream franchise out of Dallas. It's called Howdy Scoop Shop. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But they learn how to do those 3 activities, and we sell those products. We sell the products that they make in Angel Works in our gift shop. And that, it gives us a little bit of extra money to cover the deficit that we have each year. So again, our residents do get Medicare, Medicaid, but however, that doesn't cover what all we do. We're not your typical residential facility. These residents are going out in the community. They're going to, it's called the Strand. We take them out so they can have a life just like you and I do. We don't leave them just sitting around. We get them active and as involved in our community as we can. Any questions so far? Y'all quiet. Okay, so we have all these services that they do each and every day. So the latest one is the Howdy Scoop Shop. There was an individual in Dallas who had a disabled child, and he could never find anywhere for his child to work. You know, we as parents want our child, especially with disabilities, to be able to function as we do and get back in the community. Well, this individual was like, well, I'll just start my own ice cream shop for disabled individuals to come and work in. So that's what he did. And so now it's about 6 months ago that we started this. So we have 6 flavors of ice cream so far. So if you're ever in Shreveport, please call me and you come by. And so what's exciting now, we're just about to open up a standalone Howdy Scoop Shop in Bossier. And that's kind of what my job is outreach and push us out in the community. Because in the past, as a nonprofit, you know, we didn't really get out, and it's kind of like, oh, if you know about us, that's fine. But we didn't really push the envelope. And now we're changing, and we have to get out there in the community because we're not just based in Shreveport, Bossier. We have residents from about 15 to 17 different states. We have families from Canada. We have families from Portland. We have families, a very prominent family in Dallas, Texas. And we have people in Nashville. So my job is to go out. Again, I knew about Holy Angels, but I didn't know the services that we provide. And it's coming over here to Tyler because we do have residents from here. We have several residents from Tyler. And just in making sure our service organizations know who we are, what we do, and how we can help y'all. And again, we have a day program where the individuals can come, and they don't have to come every day. They can come and see if it's a fit for them. It may not be. So we have all of those services. And about a year ago, we started a community school. And we have kids from an hour away that have autism and learning disabilities. And our school system was just not adapt to teaching those kids because you have to have the educational side and the clinical side. And some of our schools just focus on the educational side and not the clinical side. And you have to have both of those for those individuals to make it. give you an example. We had a young kid, I want to say he was in second grade. And the school system was like, look, there's just nothing we can do. He can't stay in this school. He's, he interrupts and is just disruptive. There's nothing we can do. Well, we took that child in this past year. And our teachers and clinical staff, it's a one-on-one with children instead of putting them in a group setting. Because a lot of kids, you may or may not know this, they react to different people different ways. You know that being a clinician. And so what works for one kid may not work for another. And so we have one-on-one treatment with those kids and mix together the clinical and educational aspect of his treatment. He has since went back to the school and they have accepted him back in that school, and they are shocked that he has come so far in the past year. He did go back to that school for just a short period of time, and his parents were like, we're sending him back to Holy Angels because he got better care. And, it's near and dear to my heart. I told you, I stepped away from corporate America in September and was like, God, take the wheel and put me where you want me to be. I've been there two months, and I could go on. I could talk days about what we do at Holy Angels. We have 2 fundraisers a year. We have what's called Angel Run in the spring, where we get our residents out and we pair them up with individuals, and we do a 5K. Some of them go faster than we do. They're very, very active. And then in the fall, we have what's called Taste of Shreveport. So I would love for y'all to drive over. Only an hour and a half. I drove that this morning. So we have about 40 volunteers in the community, vendors that come out, and you just taste all of our restaurants in Shreveport. And we have a silent auction. So if you don't want to drive that hour and a half, we have a silent auction online. It starts September 21st. Have a lot of art, have a lot of pieces from our residents. So everything that they make in AngelWorks, we'll put some of those pieces online. So we have AngelWorks stuff from our residents, and then we have some area artists that also donate to that auction. So those are the only 2 events that we do to raise money to offset. What would you think that our deficit is in our budget? This budget. $1.5 million every year. $1.5 million. And it's because we give back to our residents and we treat them the way we want to be treated. We treat them the way you would want your family members to be treated, and we try to give them the love and respect that they deserve. And so those 2 fundraisers that we do, and then the AngelWorks products that we sell. Last year we made about $250,000 that goes toward that deficit. And so we continue to do that. And if you can see the smiles and the looks on these residents' faces when we take them out and when we sell their products, it's just incredible. And I would do it every day. Any questions? Yes, ma'am?
And I didn't miss this, but are your services free for those that live there?
No. So they each, since they're disabled, they get Medicare and Medicaid. But even though we get that funding, what we do for them is way above what we get reimbursed. But we do it because it's the right thing to do. And it's the way our organization was founded way back in 1965.
Would you share how I love what you do. I think it's just breathtaking. But would you share with us about your campus and what that's like, the grounds and everything?
Mm-hmm. So, I remember I said we started in 1965. If any of y'all kind of know about Shreveport or anywhere back in that day. So the families donated 64 acres to us. And it was South Shreveport, and it was pine trees. It was basically in the woods back then. But it's still, the campus we still have huge trees. the storm a couple of weeks ago that came in, or back in June, we had 13 trees that fell on our campus. And talking these trees are huge. None of them, God surrounded us. None of the trees hit any of our facilities. No one was hurt. And so we have 13 group homes, 7 of them are on campus. And then we have dorms on campus. So Madonna Hall is our hall that houses our 24-hour care individuals. And then we have dormitories. We have one for males, we have one for females, and then we have combination dorms. All spread out on campus, and then we have a chapel on campus, and then we have administrative buildings. And then we have the dorm that was the nursery. We turned that in to Angel Works. Is where they all go each day to work, basically. And then we have 2 pools. We have an indoor pool and we have an outdoor pool. So we have a swim team, we have a wrestling team. We have cheerleaders that cheer for those teams. We have a basketball team, and we're getting a pickleball court soon. They were putting the paint down this past week. So everything's really on campus, but then we have 6 additional homes within a mile that house 8 residents in those. And they function, like they cook at their residence. We have a queue, it's called, that stays at the house with them and gets them up if they have to. I mean, most of them get up, and they're very high-functioning individuals that stay off campus. But they cook at their house, they cook breakfast, they eat on campus at lunch, but then at night, they all participate. I mean, they're like you and I are, but living, under, our umbrella. It's pretty cool. They come on campus, they have bikes. Our Rotary Club just bought them 4 bikes. And so they wheel around campus, and some of them work on campus, some of them work in the mailroom. And there's also some of our residents that work off campus. Tell you a story about Mr. Bobby. He's been working at Whataburger, I think, for 15, 18 years. So he decided last year he wanted to retire. He's like, I'm done working. I've worked, and he's done a super great job at Whataburger. Well, he retired, and he decided, though, he didn't like retirement. So he just recently went back to work at Whataburger. He's like, this is boring being here with y'all. So, so we have some of our residents that go out in the community and work at law firms or accounting firms. So we're wanting them to get out and be productive citizens in the community. And they get paid for it, and then that goes on their account. And we have a little store on campus that they can go buy purses and clothes and stuff like that.
2 questions. One is, what is the date for that Taste of Shreveport, in case anybody wants to go?
September 28th,
Okay.
5 to 9.
Okay. And then second question, what products do they make at Angel Works?
Okay, so they make, I'm trying to go down the hall. They will do like jewelry. They do and they can do special made items. So they'll do like pearls, or they'll do like prayer beads. Prayer beads are really big for us. And then with the angel wings, and then any kind of bracelets, rings, any kind of that. Then in our pottery room, they'll do cups. They'll, like right now, they're doing helmets. And they can do, I'm an LSU fan, Tennessee. So any of that can be specially made. And I'm a Cowboys fan too, even though I'm from Louisiana. But any kind of stuff like that. And then with our sewing room, they do like pillows, like with dachshunds, any kind of thing, like angel, anything that you want that they can make. And you can do it online or call Gina at our gift shop.
Do you market that online?
We do.
I looked up your Facebook, and it appears to be, and it doesn't look like there's any postings this year at all.
Oh, no, we do on a daily basis. LAHolyangels.org.
LA?
LA.
Okay, I've got the wrong one.
And we have a Facebook page too.
Okay, thank you.
Because Megan and them all, they're on there all the time. They're the young ones that know how to do all that. Any other questions? I saw a hand somewhere. Yes, ma'am.
The ice cream, is Is it already up and running?
Yes, ma'am. So we have on campus, we have a gift shop on campus that you can get ice cream there. And then, in the next month, fingers crossed, we're gonna open up our storefront in Bossier. It's 2850 Douglas Drive. So it's a pretty cool little shopping center with little cute areas. So we would love, I'll send y'all a link whenever we do our ribbon cutting, because I would love for y'all to come over. The ice cream, I learned how to make cooking Numpster the other day. It's blue and it has Oreo cookies in it. It's incredible. And then we have what's called lemon something, I can't remember the name, but it has those lemon heads crushed up in it. We have strawberry milkshake. I'm telling you, it's like incredible ice cream. We were on a call Monday, I think, and we were talking about our upcoming fall flavors. I'm like, can we have pumpkin spice or peppermint mocha? So, and the guys in our headquarters is in Dallas, and so that's where it started. I think we have 6 franchises across the country right now. We're the only one that is a nonprofit, so it's kind of the things that the company, they're learning with us as we go, just because of the partnership that we have with them. They have their own foundation based on how and why we were created, to help those with disabilities have jobs. And that money will go to each of the franchises to help pay for that. Yes, ma'am.
How old is your youngest resident?
Ooh. We've started taking them at 8. We don't take babies anymore. I would say we start taking them at 18 or older, and that just depends on the individual. Each case is, unique, whereas that family comes out and tours. So I would say 18 to 22, 25. But we started with babies, 15 to 18 from South Louisiana back when we started. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Do you collaborate with any other organizations that do the same thing that you do?
We do. There's one in Alexandria, I think. Again, I've been there for 2 months, but I'll let you know for sure. But there are other facilities that do what we do. Do they go over the moon? I don't think everybody does what we do just because we're faith-based.
We have Breckenridge Village here, very comparable, 8 residents per home, house parents, and meeting the needs as they progress. Some almost vegetable state, and others can do everything.
Right.
So something for everybody.
Yeah,
Very
and we
comparable.
do, and we do, Lori's been with the organization, who's our CEO since 2006, and there's one in facility in South Louisiana. And, we're very close to the nonprofits in our community too. And we write grants. That's the other thing that we do to help, with the deficit. And we're, working with the community with different foundations and so. Any other questions? Okay.
Stephanie,
Yes, sir.
how much were the bikes that you guys donated? And would a Rotary Club be able to donate bikes? Would that be something that the believes would need?
Yes, sir. So our bikes, I think they were like $150 a piece. And I bought blue and yellow because that's the color of Rotary. And so, when we're gonna get some decals or that cricket machine and put our Rotary Club. But yeah, anything like that for the residents, because it's so funny. We had one resident, one of the girls, she had her bike all decked out and all these pom-poms. One of the guys got on it the other day and stole it and went and hid it behind the maintenance department. She's like, where'd my bike go? But yes, anything like that. So when I started 2 months ago, that was one of the topics, is that they didn't have enough bikes. And I'm like, so I went back to my club. I'm like, we need to buy bikes for some of our residents. But yeah, so some of our homes are close enough for them to ride the bikes back and forth. But anything like that, yes, sir. Anything else? Oh, and the other thing, so forgot about the ice cream. So we do corporate parties and we do birthday parties as well. So if you would like us to do ice cream for like corporate wise, we do those as well.
That's cool.
All right, thank y'all so much.
Hey, don't run away yet. That was so cool and such a timely presentation as well. Well, okay, there it is. Just have to give me a second. So, thank you so much for speaking, and thank you so much for telling us about that. We have made a donation in your honor to the Literacy Council of Tyler, and we want to present you with that certificate. We didn't put it in a frame yet. We want you to pick the frame out. But we want to thank you so much for telling us such a wonderful program and very, very much needed. Absolutely. I think whenever we toured Breckenridge last week, we said that there needs to be more resources for people who are different abilities in our community, for sure. Okay, all right, it's that time for the drawing, Ace of Diamonds. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to know what the jackpot is. I'm just gonna tell you that when we walked in the door, it was $2,200, but Holly may have an updated number.
$22.96.
$22.96. Now, if you're a Rotarian in this club, you get half that amount. If you are a guest, you will get 1/4, and then your person that brought you will get 1/4, and the other half goes to the club. And Toni, would you do us the honor of drawing out the ticket? Have your tickets ready?
482.
So later.
482. 482. I don't have it. It's not mine. You see how honest I am?
No, mine's 421.
Nobody has 482? Does anybody?
Are you sure it's 482?
Yeah, I'm the last one here. 482? That is.
Are you sure it's not 432?
Can I see it?
It does say 482.
The entire number is 5111482. Well, since nobody's fessing up, we're gonna draw again. Toni, get it right this time.
All right, what about 461?
461?
No. What's going on? 461.
Don't forget to take a note last week.
No, my friend's over here. I
Finally. Okay, Jim, you're halfway there. How many cards?
There are 15 cards.
15 cards.
Where's the one to you?
Oh, it's the Jack of Diamonds.
The Jack of Diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds drawing will live another week. Bring your money. It's getting bigger and bigger. Okay, everyone, I'm going to be giving you back some time this week, but before I do that, I would just like to say I really, really hope you all know how much I appreciate being in this role. I hope you all know how much I feel grateful that I'm given the opportunity to serve you as president. I'm so, so thankful for my board, who is so supportive, and I want all of you all to know works so hard for you to make sure that processes are in place. They are such a good group. If you have the opportunity to do so, please come to our board meeting tomorrow and see how things are done. We'd love to have you as our guests. The meeting starts promptly at noon with the four-way test. Please stand as we recite the four-way test of the things that we think, say, or do first.
Is it true?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned.